What is going on, guys? This is episode 67, and today we got another mock draft here. Don't forget to check out the first mock draft we did. That one went really well, I thought. We'll see what is in store for this mock draft. Of course, we're only going to be picking for the Giants. We'll be doing 3 rounds, of course, on PFF. So this will definitely be a good one. And let's get right into this draft. Let's see what is going on with this draft. Of course, we all know Giants are selecting at 7. I'm pretty sure the last one we did they were picking earlier. So now we'll see how that goes. Of course, the Bears still have number 1 pick. Patriots at 2. Cardinals at 3. Commanders have moved up. Bears have number 5. And the Jets are also in front of the Giants now. So, and hey, I mean, listen, it's going to be a good mock draft. Of course, these are the other teams that are behind, of course. So this will be an interesting mock. Let's start the draft and let's see where what things go on. So of course we will see how things shape up. So Caleb Williams going number 1 in this draft. That should be the unanimous pick. I like Drake May, so I think these first 3 picks are pretty realistic. I don't see Brock Bowers honestly going number 4. I know a lot of people love Brock Bowers. This is just the computer, kind of just picking, one of their needs, right? Because, it says their need is tight end, so of course that's going to be their number 1 thing. It says, QB for Bears, of course. So it looks like the Justin Fields era is kind of over for the Chicago Bears. And then Drake May. I think these Drake May and Caleb Williams are kind of 1A and 1B. I think those are 2 really good quarterback prospects. Of course, Marvin Harrison Jr., I think he's the best wide receiver in this class. Brock Bowers, I'm not really too, I don't really understand this pick. I do like Malik Neighbors at 5, though. I think pairing Neighbors and Williams, that's going to be an amazing duo to come for the Bears. And then I think Newton went pretty early here. If I'm the Jets in this situation, I'm going easily either Fashanu or Joe Alt. I think those are 2 guys that the Jets need to improve on, just like the Giants. Both New York teams having pretty poor offensive lines. But listen, when you get this is probably one of the better outcomes for the Giants, I think. I know I'm taking a while for this pick. I'm just, just kind of breaking things down. But, for the Giants, right, this is kind of one of the better outcomes, right? Because the Jets don't take Joe Alt or Fashanu, so you get to choose one or the other. You can either go Fashanu out of Penn State or Joe Alt. But, I think both are really good offensive line prospects. Joe Alt, having a good year out of Notre Dame. Fashanu, of course, is really good. We're not going to take a edge rusher or wide receiver here because as much as the wide receiver position is important, offensive line is easily more important. I think if I had to do your top 3 most important, I think offensive line for sure is number 1. You could argue QB is number 2, and then wide receiver, and then obviously linebackers and all this. But I think, if I had to choose either Fashanu or Joe Alt, I'm going to take Joe Alt this time. I'm pretty sure in both of our mock drafts now we've taken Joe Alt. But, that's just kind of how this draft is, shaping out. Let me know, guys, if you want. I know it might be a longer video, but let me know if you don't want the computer picking, so you don't get crazy stuff like Newton going to the Jets or stuff like that. So some of the QBs off the board. Jaden Daniels is now a Bronco. That's interesting. It's kind of a weird pick in my opinion. I don't really I don't know. There's a bunch of weird picks in my opinion. Like I feel like the Raiders would go QB. So Fashanu went right after. But I could see, Brock Bowers going to the Titans a little bit, even though they have a tight end. But there's a lot of good offensive players. McKinstry goes to the Raiders. Dallas Turner, who's a good player. Jared Verse, who's a good edge rusher. We look down the board. Michael Penix Jr., that's another weird pick. But, yeah, this has been a, interesting mock draft to say the least. Jalen Polk's a good wide receiver, and he's going to Philadelphia. And I also, the Cowboys had a good pick here with J.C. Latham. I think he's a really good player from Alabama. Of course, Cowboys and Eagles having great drafts again. Here we go. But let's focus on the Giants. We got Bo Nix, Xavier Worthy, Shedeur Sanders, Troy Vitanu. I'm surprised how much Vitanu was dropped in this draft. Carson Beck, of course. So there's a lot of options here. We're going to look at, all of them. So, of course, wide receiver, Xavier Worthy. I think we took him in our last one. Of course, offensive tackle is important as well, but I don't think the Giants should go 2 straight offensive linemen in the first 3 rounds. I think there's a lot you can go here. So, but yeah, so we look at everybody. You could take Bo Nix if you want, but it's interesting to me for this because I feel like Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are going to run back Daniel Jones. And I don't know if I really see them taking QB, but there's also a part of me that can see them taking a QB if they feel, they could feel that, Daniel Jones is not the answer. Of course, there's a lot of, solid players here. And you know what? I think this is going to be a draft that they see a QB on the, they see a QB available, and there's a lot to pick here as well. Like, they can go with Carson Beck. I think Carson Beck's a pretty good QB. I think Bo Nix is a good QB. I think, Bo Nix could drop a lot, or we see them. I feel like this is a decent spot to go QB. I mean, I know they go Xavier Worthy here. He's probably, we see the yards, everything. Really good stuff there, but, I do kind of want to take Xavier Worthy here, and I'm going to take Xavier Worthy. I feel like this is kind of like our other mock draft. I don't think much has changed, so definitely got to, fix that. But definitely also let me know if you want this to kind of be a longer mock draft and you want, and you want me to, do every single pick. That might be in more like a 25 to 30 minute video, but yeah, definitely let me know. So we look at all the positions, looking. Of course, Jackson Powers Johnson is still there. He's really good. There's a linebacker that they could use. Troy Franklin had a pretty good year out of Oregon. So, like I said in the last mock draft, this is an offensive heavy draft. So, and that fits the Giants perfectly, right? Of course, this is our last pick. This helps the Giants in a big way because the Giants' offense this year, the offense this year is a lot worse than last year, and they're not scoring points. So they're kind of in a weird spot because I don't know if they really want to go to two wide receivers here. They can go another guy like Jordan Morgan. They can go interior offensive line with Jackson Powers Johnson. They can go another wide receiver in Brian Thomas Jr. or wide receiver out of Georgia. You can take Cooper. You look at Cooper's stats. Pretty nice overall grade from PFF. And you look at the tackles and all of that. So he played 12 games, had 58 tackles. that's pretty much it about Cooper. But yeah, he's he's from the Aggies, of course. So definitely he only played 12 games, but he had a 91 PFF grading. And you know what? I know this is definitely a mock draft and anything's on the table, right? You can go wide receiver, and we're gonna have more mock drafts, of course, every week, so things can change. And we're going to change up the picks. Like, I don't think we're going to take Joe Alt again if we have the opportunity. Maybe we take Malik Neighbors if he falls, or someone like that. But why not change things up, right? You never know what the Giants are going to do. They can go offensive line here again, or they can go on the defense. And you know what? Let's change things up, and let's go on the defense. I feel like, right? Or should we take Brian Thomas Jr.? Two very good players. You look at the stats. There's no analysts, probably because we're not signed up. But you look at the stats and all that. Played a lot of snaps. In 13 games played, it looks like he didn't get as many snaps. Unless, I'm not sure why. Let me move my thing out of the way. I'm looking at the stats. Yeah, it's the same thing. So pretty much he's had a really good year. But I feel like we just took a wide receiver, right? I know Brian Thomas had 1,000 yards, right? I'm not sure what to do here. This is kind of one of those picks where I'm taking a while. I'm sorry about that, guys. Just trying to extend the video a bit more. I don't want to make this like an 8-minute mock draft, right? Talk about the players, what I think the Giants would look at, all that type of stuff. I'm not, and it also sucks that I'm not really signed up for PFF. We only get 3 picks because I would like, maybe 4 or 5 instead. And honestly, PFF is probably the most accurate, even though there's been some weird picks. Like, we look up and we see Michael Penix Jr. there. I guess I understand it, but they just drafted Stetson Bennett. Jaden Daniels is interesting because they have Russell Wilson, so I guess he's going to be, looking to be a, kind of a backup to start his career, and then when Russell Wilson is done, he'll move over. I thought if I'm the Raiders here, I would take Jaden Daniels. I think that's where he should go, but yeah, I mean Joe Alt. Really good player. But yeah, definitely let me know you guys your thoughts on this mock draft and everything. But I think for us we should take let's go defense. Why not? Let's take Cooper here. Why not? I don't know if you guys are gonna be happy with that or not. But yeah, I definitely have to do more scouting on these guys. Oh, we have another pick. My bad. Thought we were done. That was only our second pick? Oh, because we had two second rounders. My bad. So yeah, we get another pick. So that's cool. So we just took a linebacker. Ooh. Wouldn't have mind. So this is a guy from Clemson. Of course, we don't have to look at all. Not sure why I'm clicking on tight end. So of course, Johnny Wilson, big guy. 6'7". I'm not going to take Johnny Wilson here. If I would rather have Keon Coleman, but we could have actually technically taken him over Joe Alt. But offensive line is the main priority for this team. It's got to get better. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys in this draft. This Wingo out of LSU, it seems to me, he had more sacks. He had Only one less sack. I wonder if he got injured. Oh, that's that stuff. But 6'1", 295. That's doesn't really help much. But yeah, that's Wingo right there. There's a lot of tight ends from not tight ends. My bad. A lot of linebackers from Clemson. We just drafted a linebacker, so let me know if I messed up on any picks as well. I definitely want to hear your feedback. Definitely want to do some more film. Might start doing some film sessions or something like that. Maybe highlights from games. Even though the Giants haven't showed us very much, there's a lot of linebackers here. There's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's also a QB, but we're not going to take a QB. There's a tackle here, Kingsley. Sua Matia, something like that. Yeah, this is definitely a weird spot for sure. Because I don't like going, I don't really like going to tight ends. You could take Brendan Rice here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the son of Jerry Rice. But I could be wrong, but only 791 yards, so that's definitely not great. I think the other guys we were looking at had a lot more. Yeah, could take a running back here if we really wanted to. Let's check out the running backs. Why not? No, never mind. I mean, Trayvon Henderson's a guy that I do like. Wow, 6.2 yards per carry. Oh no, yards per attempt. He had 11 touchdowns, and 19 receptions on 22 targets for 229 games. I remember watching his game against Rutgers. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bad player at all. I mean, if the Giants wanted to go running back here, kind of have more fun with this mock draft instead of picking what they kind of need, which is probably the problem with my decisions, because I wouldn't mind drafting a running back, be a RB2, because Eric Gray has not been the solution. The Giants also passed up on Puka Nacua and they took Eric Gray. Fun fact. But there's so many players to kind of avoid, in my opinion. Not taking Donovan Edwards, I don't think, even though he's a running back out of Michigan, because that was Blake Corum's, who actually went right before us. He went to the Jets. That's another interesting pick. The Jets don't need a running back. The Jets need what they need. That's interesting by PFF. And they also just drafted Breece Hall a few seasons ago. So, not sure on that. I would have taken Blake Corum at the 71st pick. But yeah, we're closing in on almost 20 minutes now. And I think I've taken about 6 minutes just deciding. But, yeah, I mean, definitely want you guys' feedback and, really anything. I'm just looking at players right now. But I think what I'm going to do, he led 2 sacks in 11 games. I was actually going to take this guy, but I think I'm kind of skeptical of him now. He's a cornerback from Wake Forest. A lot of interesting players, but hey, I think I don't want to take Johnny Wilson here, to be totally honest with you. I think we're just going to take the top tackle, because I don't want to take a QB. Peyton Wilson. we just drafted not drafted. We just what do you call it? We just drafted it. I honestly regret taking that linebacker now. Right? Where did we draft him? Sorry, I'm taking some. Yeah, we took Cooper. So I don't think taking two. You know what? I'm gonna take. Yeah, why not? Let's just go tackle. Definitely not my my best performance on these mock drafts. A lot of brain farts in this one, taking up a lot of time between picks. But I feel like the tackle might be the move. I don't think Billy Bowman's that good. He's had some good games and he's had some bad games. Yeah, let's take the tackle. Why not? So that'll do it for the draft. Not too happy with how this one really went. But yeah, that's pretty much been our mock. Yeah, I hope you guys, of course, enjoy how this one went. Of course, these would be 4 picks. Joe Alt in the first round, Xavier Worthy in the second, and another pick in the second round was Adgarin Cooper and Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU. So if I had to, honestly rate this mock draft, I don't think it was very good. I think for me, it took a lot of time because I didn't really like the board, in my opinion. So I really think the Giants could do a lot better than me, obviously. They're definitely a lot better at scouting than me, and I'm definitely going to start doing some more scouting, of course, but make these mock drafts better so I know who to take in what situation. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this mock draft. I will say I do apologize for taking a lot of time between picks. It was just me talking to, of course, kind of get, be like a GM, make some decisions. But anyways, I appreciate the support on the last mock draft. Definitely take a look at that one. And, of course, let's hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 80 subs. And, yeah. Let me know you guys mock draft grades, if I did really good or I did really bad. Personally, probably get us like a C+, maybe a B-. But I think the first 2 picks were good, and then these 2 with Cooper and Kingsley were pretty mid. But yeah, that's gonna do it for an episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.